Hello everyone. So this is the seventh session of the food safety and quality assurance, and the topic which we'll be covering today is quality assessment and safety of different fish and fish products or marine products. Introduction. The quality of fish and fishery products is a major concern in fish industry worldwide. Essentially, the objective of fish and fish product assessment is to avoid the ingestion of contaminated food, to evaluate the nutritive value of food by detecting the presence of biological, chemical, and physical hazards, and in the end to ensure the safety of the consumer. To assess the safety of fish and fish products, both instrumental and sensory methods are used. Sensory methods are the most satisfactory ways of assessing the spoilage and freshness of fish and fishery products. The use of raw, inadequate cooked, salted, or smoked fish, common in many countries, has zoonotic potential and has been reported to cause serious disease conditions in humans. To avoid disease problems caused by parasite, bacteria, and autolytic activity, fish that is going to be used for food should be frozen and cooked before use. Introduction. The aquaculture has developed to become the fastest growing food producing sector in the world. A large proportion of fish products come from small scale producers in developing countries or low income deficit countries. More than 80% of the global aquaculture products are produced in fresh water. From its early development in Asia, aquaculture has undergone huge developments and highly diversified. The aquaculture consists of a broad spectrum of systems from small ponds to large-scale, high-intensified commercial systems. The quality of fish and fishery products has become a major concern in fish industry all over the world. Fish being one of the exceptionally perishable food, and as a result of globalization of food trade, fish products tend to be more susceptible to rejected due to poor quality, especially in the initial raw materials of poor quality despite the technological development in fish production. Seafood health hazards have been outlined in several guides in the literature and can be classified as biological hazards, as classified as chemical hazards of biotoxins, parasites, pathogenic bacteria, viruses, biotoxins, and allergens. Chemical hazards from contaminated waters such as heavy metals, dioxins, chemical contaminants originated from processing areas, chemicals formed by fish processing such as nitrosamines and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, physical hazards such as bones, plastic, glass, and metals. The microbial analysis of marine products. Pathogenic and potentially pathogenic bacteria associated with fish and shellfish include Mycobacteria, Streptococcus cineae, Vibrio vulnificus, Vibrio species, Aeromonas, Salmonella species, Clostridium botulinum. People most often get infected as follows: through contact with infected fish while handling them, water or other constituents of the fish life. That is, the following case of transmission have been recorded so far: after injury by cleaning aquarium with bare hands, the exposure to fish tank water by handling tropical fish ponds, by contact with rare tropical fish, after injuries from fish by thorns or fish bite, after fish bite, through contact with fish living in the wild, by contact with the fresh or salt water environment, infection of young children who are in contact with the fish tank through processing fish in the food industry and preparation of dishes orally by consumption infected fish, or relatively productive of food contamination with water or other infectious diseases is markedly affected by internal factors such as physiological status of consumer, particularly by immune suppression and stress, as a case of HIV/AIDS. Aeromonad bacteria are ubiquitous in the environment, and several Aeromonas species have been reported to cause disease in the fish, as well as being potential foodborne pathogens that may cause disease in the humans. Although Salmonella species may be harbored and survived in fish, seafood seldom harbors Salmonella. Fish may be exposed to Salmonella through consumption of contaminated feed or live in contaminated water. The occurrence of Salmonella in feed has for a long time been a well recognized problem worldwide. However, research has shown that the level of Salmonella contamination in the feed must be extremely high if the bacteria to persist in the fish for more than a few days. If salmonellosis present in freshwater or marine fish species, this is mainly due to the fecal contamination. Foodborne pathogenic bacteria such as Campylobacter, Shigella, and Yersinia are seldom associated with fish. Nevertheless, the fish pathogenic bacteria have been reported to occur in humans. Parasites. Among the animals, fishes are the most important host for maintenance of parasites through helminthes. Most of the fishes are parasites, and they not only serve as hosts of different parasites but also serve as carrier of many larval parasitic forms that mature and may cause serious diseases in many vertebrates including man. The fish-borne parasites infections have recently been identified as an important public health problem with considerable economic impact in terms of morbidity, loss of productivity, and healthcare costs. The poor sanitation and traditional methods of food preparations have accelerated the spread of foodborne parasitic infections. The most important of helminths acquired by humans from fish are the anisakid nematodes. The fish-borne zoonotic trematodes, that is FZD, are well-known cause of liver and intestinal trematode fluke disease in humans. This strong cultural preference in many countries for eating raw or insufficiently cooked infected fish are believed to be the greatest risk factors for human infection. It has been estimated that about 680 million people worldwide are at a risk of infection, apart from 20 million humans already infected with liver flukes. Chemical hazard. The formation of biogenic amines and involved products. Biogenic amines are mainly formed in fish products by microbial decarboxylation of amino acids and transamination of aldehydes and ketones. Certain biogenic amines such as antihistamine, cadaverine, putrescine, and tyramine are of the importance due to the risk of food intoxication, and also they serve as chemical indicators of fish spoilage. Histamine is one of the main concern in fishery products formed by the microbial decarboxylation of histidine as a result of time temperature abuses in certain fish products. Histamine poisoning is often referred to as chrombrotoxin poisoning because of the frequent association to the illness with the consumption of spoiled scromboid fish such as tuna, bonito, and mackerel. However, non-scromboid fish such as herring, anchovies, and mahi-mahi have been implicated in the breaks. Nitrosamines. Nitrosamines are reported to cause cancer and are often associated with the TFP such as smoked, fermented, salted, and salt-dried products. Although various causes have been indicated with the formation of nitrosamines in the foods, the mechanism of nitrosamine formation in fish products and factors influencing their formation have been clearly elucidated. Nitrosamines are generally formed through reactions between secondary and tertiary amines and nitrite under certain conditions. Sensory evaluation. Considering all the development in its instrumental methods that have occurred in the last decade, sensory methods remain the most satisfactory way of assessing the freshness of fish and fishery products. Objective Objective seafood sensory tests based on certain attributes of raw fish are the most commonly used methods for quality assessment of raw whole fish in the inspection service and fishing industry. The sensory evaluation of food is defined as a scientific means of quantifying and interpreting the variations in food characteristics by using human senses of sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. The studies have shown that assessment of food freshness characteristics using sensory methods are capable of giving objective and reliable results when assessments are done under controlled conditions. Generally trained and experienced um, taste panel is essential to obtain accurate and reproducible results. Sensory methods are, however, the most commonly used in the descriptive test, which measure the difference or absolute value, indicating the different quality levels. That's all for this session. Thank you.